What's happening, guys? It's your boy Cdwoods here. The other night I was just looking up some Toronto Raptors news and I literally, no lie, saw 100 Demarcus Cousins to Toronto trade rumors. So I read a few and I started getting hyped up. I was turned all the way up. Then I go to Reddit to see what everyone is saying, and it's not good. They're all saying it's not gonna happen. And me, being a rebel, decided to make a list and now a video of why it will happen. Not only that, but I'm also going to address Cousins' technical foul problem and explain why that won't be an issue in Toronto. But we have a lot to go over, so let's just go ahead and jump headfirst into the video. Before we talk about why Toronto will get him, we have to talk about why other teams won't. Specifically, the Boston Celtics. Now, when most people talk about the trade to the Toronto Raptors, they shut it down immediately because of the trade assets that the Celtics have. But in reality, the Celtics trade just doesn't make sense. They just signed Al Horford, who would be the centerpiece of that trade, and they can't trade him for a while. And it wouldn't make sense for the Kings to trade for Al because of the age that Al Horford is at. The difference between JV and Al Horford is that JV is still working on his game. He will get better. Al won't get better and isn't going to be the rebounder you need in a center. The Kings can work to make JV better, while Al Horford will regress over the course of his contract. And no other team has the prospects and picks that the Celtics have, so if they aren't going to trade for him, we're the next best thing. The next question we gotta ask is, when will we trade for him? The Kings simply aren't going to trade Cousins until the midpoint of the season. But let me tell you why they finally will trade him around the All-Star break, specifically 2 weeks before that, in my opinion. To put it simply, they will be the worst team in the West by at least 5 games and realize that they have to trade him. They're already going to get a high draft pick, so why not get people on long contracts who still have a few years before their prime, like JV, Kojo, and Terrence Ross? That would kickstart their rebuilding process and would be a lot better than waiting for Cousins to leave, not getting any prospects, and waiting a year to get a good draft pick. But now, let's get into why the Toronto Raptors will trade for him. The first reason is a need for a superstar. It's a proven fact that you need a superstar to win championships in the NBA. Sure, you have the very rare 2004 Pistons team, but every other time since then, there have been a superstar on the championship winning team. Yes, if we trade for the superstar, our bench will take a hit, but we will get the best center in the NBA, and we will still have Norman Powell, Patrick Patterson, Pascal Siakam, Dalen Wright, and Jakob Poeltl on the bench. It'll also give people like Drew Crawford, Fred VanVleet, and Brady Heslop a chance to all make the 15-man roster. And the need for a superstar center is at a high for contending teams because of the Golden State weakness at that position compared to the other positions, which, as we know, contains Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green. Now, let me tell you why Cousins' technicals won't be a problem in Toronto. Demarcus Cousins is in the most poorly managed team in the NBA. They have made every possible mistake you can when having a superstar on your team. Plus, they aren't winning. As a competitor, when your team loses, you're not very happy. We are a winning team, so that won't be a problem with Cousins. Also, Cousins is friends with both Lowry and DeRozan. People have been talking about the Lowry and Cousins friendship before, and we can all remember when DeRozan and Demarcus were in the brothel at the Olympics. Despite what you may think, you don't go to the brothels with people you aren't friends with. Not that I would know or anything. Finally, we can all remember Lowry having a problem with technicals before he came to the Raptors. So, why can't the same thing happen to Demarcus Cousins? Now let's discuss the main reason why we need him. other than the fact that he is the best center in the NBA, he can rebound with the best of them, he can score in the low post, and he can shoot the three. But the main reason the Toronto Raptors need him is because we lost Bismack Biyombo. You remember him? You know, Bismack was only one of the most popular Raptor players of last season. But Cousins is just as good, if not better, than Biyombo on defense. So yeah, we really need Cousins to fill that spot. Bad. And for my final point, let me go over why losing Cousins wouldn't be that bad. So what if Cousins leaves Toronto when his contract ends? We would be screwed, right? Again, simply put, that's just not the case. We still have a lottery center named Jakob Poeltl who would step up and fill his shoes. Yes, it would hurt, but it wouldn't be as bad as people want to make it out to be. Now, I can go on and on for another half hour about why this should and will happen, but I need to keep this at a respectable length for YouTube. So, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe before anything else. I'm going to be the next big basketball YouTuber, so go ahead and get on the Cdwoods train early. Once you're subbed, go ahead and share this with your friends, your buddies, your pals, or whatever synonym you want to use. Anyway guys, thank you as always, and I will see you in the next video.